This next story is from the Baltimore Beat. We're going to Baltimore.
And let me just say real quick, do a little backstory for this article. This article just dives into all of it. But we're talking about Kilmer Abrego Garcia. If that name sounds familiar, he's been all over the headlines. He is the El Salvadorian man that the Trump administration, deported to CSOT, who at first they said it was a mistake. They openly admitted it was a mistake. And so now the media is focusing on this one person. There's many more. None of them should be deported to this prison. But this guy's been making most of the headlines because they admitted it was at first a mistake. But then they came back around and said, actually, no, it wasn't a mistake. Actually, no, he was actually an MS-13 member. We know that from back in 2019. So this story focuses on what exactly happened back in 2019 and the fact that it revolves around a former police officer. So that'll be my little quick summary. So
No, thank you. Thank you for the context. But all right, let's get into it. The Maryland cop who first linked Kilmer Abrego Garcia to alleged gang activity in 2019 was placed on a do not call list published by Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy in 2021, meaning he was deemed unfit to testify in state court due to criminal charges filed against him for sharing confidential information about a police investigation. This means that the Trump administration has detained Abrego Garcia in the CSOT prison in El Salvador against the rulings of the Supreme Court and the Maryland District Court, based solely on the word of a cop deemed untrustworthy by the county state attorney office.
So I want to say something real quick that it mentions a do not call list. So what that is, it's called the Brady list. Mm-hmm. So the Brady list is a list of cops, and there's not one giant shared list across the country. Each department has it. Classic policing. There's no centralization. It's all the cops get to enjoy the decentralization, fragmentation. It's hard to keep up with all of it. But a Brady list is basically if a cop makes the Brady list, it means he's fucked up in whatever way. And the purpose of this list is so that when a defendant is in court, that if a cop is being used as a witness to testify against someone and being like, I know this is a bad guy, I'm a police officer, then the defense can say, well, actually, he's on the Brady list. And the Brady list is literally a list of cops who have proven themselves to be untrustworthy, and so their testimony now in court will have this asterisk on it that says they're on the Brady list. So this cop who was on a Brady list was the one who originally said this El Salvadorian man is linked to the gang. And if you remember from last week, the openly gay Venezuelan hairdresser who was sent to the El Salvadoran prison, that original sign off on him being a gang member was also by a former disgraced cop who also was on a Brady list.
Damn.
So crazy, insane parallel here, and just all around, not good stuff.
From my own witnessing of cops' behaviors, it feels like they're hiring from the Brady list directly.
Exactly.
Like directly from and obviously the story, they're still, just like the passage just said, they're using, this guy's on the Brady list, so they're clearly still using cops from it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're touching on the exact absurdity of the fact that we have this list rather than, oh, you're fired.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh, yeah, you're just not going to be able to testify because you fucked up so bad that you're not a cop anymore. Instead, it's like, oh, no, you still get to be a cop. Oh, no, you still get to go up and be a witness. But we got to put you on a list, the Brady list, put a little asterisk by your thing. And
cops are the only people who basically get to have the fear removed of like a background check, like that fear you get when you like, oh damn, they're about to do a background check on me. Everybody else in the world is like, oh shit. You could be a sweet old grandma. If somebody says they're gonna do a background check on you, like she's gonna be like, oh, I wonder what's gonna. It's just anxiety. Cops, they'll have full on CP cases in their background.
Exactly.
Like, take a look.
Yeah.
Show me what you
They'll
find.
be excited about the background. Oh, wait till I get a load to see all the violence I've committed upon minorities.
I've been a little busy. I've been a little busy out there.
Oh, my resume? It's right here. It's an arrest record.
You might have heard of me. I am the, I made the local news. But okay, I'll keep going. So, the New Republic first reported that the PGPD Corporal Ivan Mendez, who filed out Abrego Garcia's gang field interview sheet, pleaded guilty to criminal misconduct and office charges based on giving information about a police investigation to a sex worker in December 2018, according to Maryland Case Search. Just months before Abrego Garcia's arrest in a Home Depot parking lot, Attorney General Pam Bondi released on Wednesday a redacted form of the gang field interview sheet filled out by Mendez when PGPD arrested Abrego Garcia in 2019, with right-wing media outlets crowing that they reveal his MS-13 gang rake and street name. Brave Boy said that the untrustworthy officers risk the integrity of cases brought to the justice system. And yet, the United States Department of Justice is basing the extraordinary rendition of a Maryland resident solely on the credibility of just such an officer. According to Maryland Case Search, Mendez's crime occurred on December 31st, 2018, when, according to the Prince George County Police Department, he provided confidential information to a commercial sex worker who he was paying in exchange for sexual acts. The information he provided focused on an ongoing police investigation.
So once again, freaky ass cops in the center of everything.
So he just got he had a case on him for paying a sex worker.
For not only paying a sex worker, but giving her confidential information that related to another case.
He was pillow talking? Even worse crime, dog. Yeah. That's crazy. You cop pillow talking? That's the craziest. The fuck is happening?
With a sex worker. Someone he paid. Someone he paid to share a pillow with him in the first place.
She's like,
she doesn't give a shit, dude. She doesn't care.
She's like, can I have my money?
Yeah. Can I go? No, he's like, no, actually, I paid for you for 12 more minutes, so you have to. I'm not done with my story, actually. She's like, okay.
What the fuck?
Oh, what a loser. God.
Yo, my boy. Get your shit together, dog. That's whew, all right.
And again, just to reiterate.
It was coming together. Like, this nigga.
Yeah.
What?
Same here. I came up with that. Well, we figured that out in real time. Oh, shit, bro. Bro. Like, yeah, beyond just like the, fuck the police. I just want to be like, bro, yeah, dude.
What the fuck is he doing, bro? Yo, chill, bro. You gotta come back.
And again, this is the guy who's the accuser of the MS-13 allegation on Abrego Garcia.
Yeah. Okay, let me figure out back where I was. Okay, so... Okay, on March 28th, 2019, Abrego Garcia went to the Home Depot in Hyattsville looking for work as a day laborer. While waiting around for a job, Abrego Garcia and 3 other men were stopped by police, according to court documents. At the police station, the 4 young men were placed into different rooms and questioned. Plaintiff Abrego Garcia was asked if he was a gang member. When he told police he was not, they said that they did not believe him and repeatedly demanded that he provided information about other gang members. The police told plaintiff Abrego Garcia that he would be released if he cooperated, but he repeatedly explained that he did not have any information to give because he didn't know anything. 2019 court filing reads, Mendez filed out the gang field interview sheet that deemed Abrego Garcia a member of MS-13. So the cop still filled out the gang field interview sheet saying he was a MS-13 member, even though Abrego Garcia was clearly saying, bro, I'm not.
And again, what was he doing? He was outside of Home Depot looking for work.
Yeah.
So this is classic cop shit. Oh, we know that undocumented people have trouble getting work. They hang out at Home Depot to get work so they can provide for their family. Let's go and round them up and arrest them and accuse them of being gang members.
That shit is extra. That's like you're saying you're looking for gang members, so you go and attack the people looking for work.
Yeah, and that's a great point. Go find someone who's selling drugs who's doing gang shit, not someone who's doing literally the opposite of gang shit, a hard day's work.
That shit that's so crazy to me. It's just, I mean, obviously being from Texas, look, half my family's carpenters. I've been in and out of Home Depot, work with all types of people. That shit is just crazy to harass their working class people trying to find who can't enter the labor pool because they don't have documents. So to harass them is fucking nuts. Mendez filled out the gang field interview sheet that deemed Abrego Garcia a member of MS-13 based on the fact that he was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat and hoodie, quote, indicative of the Hispanic gang culture, and a confidential informant who told them that Abrego Garcia was, like I said, quote, an active member of MS-13 with the Westerns clique, even though the Western clique is located in Long Island, a place Abrego Garcia has never been. Officers know MS-13 gang members are only allowed to hang around other members of prospects for the gangs, Mendez wrote.
I mean, this is such an insane level of racial profiling. Like, it's basically a Hispanic man looking for work outside of Home Depot, and he was wearing a Bulls hat, and that's enough. I mean, and that's enough to not only accuse of starting an investigation of being a gang member, that's crazy enough, but enough to where it's led to this fucking chain of events that he's in an El Salvadoran prison camp.
Well,
and it all goes back to he was just a Latino man outside of a Home Depot looking for work.
Damn, yeah. So they're literally about to just be arresting people based off of whatever stereotypes white America has of people, whatever I feel like it's like whatever the Christian evangelical elite, Midwest elite or whatever, Bible Belt, their big, whatever fear of whatever race or group that they have is about to become criminal and like criminalized and like, oh, that's enough to get you locked up. You're a Hispanic man outside of Home Depot. You're a Hispanic man at Home Depot. Obviously you're illegal. So it's just we have when culture war intersects with fucking actual law.
It's wild.
They're waging it. But so I'll continue. Where was I? So then only 3 days later, on April 1st, PGPD was first made aware of the allegation against Mendez. The department statement reads, he was suspended on April 3rd, 2019. The officer's police powers were then suspended, and he remained suspended. We then brought our investigation to the state attorney's offices for consideration of charges, said the interim police chief, Hector Velez. All allegations of criminal misconduct by our officers are taken seriously and thoroughly investigated. Mendez was investigated thoroughly enough that he pleaded guilty to misconduct in office in state court in 2022, being sentenced to probation before judgment. So, because of his illegal use of information, Mendez was only an active duty officer for 5 days after alleging that Abrego Garcia was a gang member. That's crazy. He was only a cop for 5 days. And that was enough to get this
That's
man.
how long he could last as a cop, was fucking 5 days. And then he had to plead guilty to misconduct.
And in that time, in that 5 days, that was enough time to get Abrego Garcia's life.
Yes. And this is the report they're going back on to be like, no, actually he is an MS-13 gang member. Look at this report.
Horrible human wrote it, see?
Yeah.
You gotta believe this dude who pillow talks to women he pays. Yeah. So where was I? So, because of his illegal use of information, Mendez was only an active duty officer for 5 days after alleging that Abrego Garcia was a gang member. Meanwhile, Abrego Garcia remained locked up for months in the Howard County Detention Center where he married his pregnant wife, Jennifer Vasquez Sura, in a ceremony that was far from how we ever imagined it. That sucks.
Yeah. And I just want to highlight, Abrego Garcia this whole time never charged with a single crime. Never charged with a crime. You know who was fucking charged with the crime and convicted, pled guilty to the fucking crime the fucking cop who wrote the report.
Of course.
But it's this man who had a pregnant wife, who was working hard, who's being shipped off, never officially charged with a crime.
Dude, yeah, that's so fucking sad. He had to get married in prison.
In a jail,
in jail. That's like all for a cop who was only a cop for 5 fucking days. That's
exactly
blows my mind. In 5 days, this is the type of damage a cop can do to a person's life. That's like,
yeah, wow, less than a week.
That's like well, that was like a blip in his man's. I mean, he obviously went to jail, but like he's not gonna a week is not. He's not even going to remember. That's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I was a cop one time.
Yeah.
How did that turn out?
Yeah.
I accidentally got a man extradited to El Salvador.
Yeah.
But yeah, in October 2019, after months of incarceration based solely on the word of Mendez, who had already been charged with misconduct in office, a judge granted Abrego Garcia withholding of removal status, which made it illegal for him to be deported to El Salvador because of past persecution based on protected ground and the presumption of a well-founded fear of future persecution, which means that the government could not deport him to El Salvador because to do so would cause irreparable harm based upon past threats. Then, more than 5 years later, after Mendez pleaded guilty to misconduct in office, the entire executive branch holds Mendez gang field interview sheet filled out in the period between Mendez committing a crime and his imminent exposure above the ruling of the U.S. Supreme Court, which in a 9-0 decision ordered the Trump administration to facilitate the return of Abrego Garcia.
Crazy.
So that is a wild fucking time, gang.
Yeah.
This guy, that the last paragraph definitely really sent it home for me. Like they are over the 9-0 ruling of a mostly conservative Supreme Court.
Very conservative Supreme Court, yeah.
So if the Supreme Court, and it's not even 9-0 ruling, they redid they had like an emergency fucking, I don't even know if it was an emergency Supreme Court meeting, but they put out another statement being like, no, this one's no room for misinterpretation. You have to bring this guy home. And so the fact that this is
this is their centerpiece, exactly, of their argument.
The whole argument is like
a man who couldn't be a cop for a week.
Yeah. Maybe incompetent.
And again, it's similar. Last week, we covered a story of the former cop who was like crashing into families' homes and busting into his girlfriend's house with a gun to his head. He was the guy who accused the other guy of being
just deranged people being like, he's a gang member. It's like, just
deranged former cops. Both had to resign from being cops.
Yeah. Is there no what are the mental health like evaluations before you take the word of any just psycho with a gun? A gun and a badge. But yeah, I mean, I haven't caught up super hard on the Abrego Garcia. I saw pictures of like one senator going down to visit him.
At least we know he's alive. Yeah.
And then, even then, I saw Trump came out and was like, they're like, see, he's not coming back. Oh, look, I guess look at the man who was allegedly disappeared. This is like whitehouse.gov. This is like the Twitter account being like, who's talking all like,
it's like a 4chan post.
Yeah, and
it's like the official account.
Girl, SMH, look who I clocked this T. Look who's alive. It's like, what the fuck? This is the what?
Like I mean, the frog meme.
To be fair, the Democrats are the same type of corny ass cringe bullshit. But it's even worse when the post is blatantly fascism. It's blatantly like,
and it's like coming from whitehouse.gov. You know, thing from like AOC's personal account. You know, it's like so still a little different.
But he had like a weed plant, like a cross, skull, and like some other little emblem. And they were like, see, that's MS-13. They just like took the whatever fucking tats they wanted to show and be like, that's proof. Look at the tattoos, MS-13. It's like, okay, you can do that to Pete Davidson too, and then throw his ass in like.
And we advocate for that.
We are trying to get Pete Davidson thrown into an El Salvador.
Now we've gotten to the real crux of this episode.
Misidentifying tattoos to get people thrown into.
Yeah, we got a list.
But that's the update on that, gang.
Crazy story.